I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. An inspection finds violations at a restaurant looking to expand at a county park. The state's Division of Hotels and Restaurants recently conducted an inspection at Captain's Barbecue at Bing's Landing. The division says it identified 4 violations, 2 of which it said were high priority, though it noted there was no immediate threat to the public. Among the violations the state agency found was food cooled at 46 degrees instead of the required 41 degrees or below. A second high priority violation was related to seating. The Division of Hotels and Restaurants says the restaurant exceeded the maximum number of seats permitted, with a total of 118 seats both inside and outside. The establishment is only licensed for 60 seats. An increase in seating requires written approval from the local fire authority and wastewater provider. The violations come at a bad time for Captain's as it seeks to expand and relocate to a less prominent location in the park along the Intracoastal Waterway. Residents of the Hammock vehemently oppose the expansion and have protested against it weekly. The current proposal for Captain's includes building a new facility at its own expense, then turning over ownership to the county, all while paying a $1,000 a month rent for the first 5 years. At that facility, they would have 150 seats. The next workshop on Captain's expansion is April 3rd at 8 a.m.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and starting in May, nonstop flights to New York City via American Airlines.
Bunnell's utilities are in rough shape, but what's being done about it? John Arking takes a look.
Officials in Bunnell say there is much work to be done when it comes to upgrading the city's utilities. Utilities Director Dustin Vost.
You got to keep in mind most of the stuff was put in back in the 70s, some in the 90s, so it is in need of repair. But we have a master plan being developed right now for the utility system with Kimley Horn and CPH to help bring it up.
Vost says if he was to grade the current water system, it would be a C+, while on the sewer side, it would be a D, adding, we've got some work to do. So how to pay for that upgrade? Bunnell City Manager Dr. Alvin Jackson.
It's really coming up with a strategic approach and basically prioritizing and identifying really what that cost is. Right now, our estimate is $40 to $50 million worth of improvements. Can't do it all in 1 year, but we will prioritize that. We will continue to look for funding sources through state government. We will also explore some federal funding.
Jackson says public-private partnerships would also have to be in the mix. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Watch out for the leprechaun. Spotting one won't bring you good luck this weekend. A Flagler County deputy dressed as a leprechaun will be running radar and looking out for speeders for St. Patrick's Day and the end of Bike Week. Sheriff Staley warned, don't let this leprechaun take your pot of gold.
Florida teachers could make more money after this legislative session.
Flagler County Representative Paul Renner says that public schools in the state could see more funding, and especially for teachers.
We're also looking at trying to increase the per-student funding that goes towards their teacher salaries, and the governor's called for bonuses. So every year I've been there, we've increased funding for public education, and I expect that we'll attempt to do that again this year.
Renner's been in the state legislature since 2015. He said that no one should be threatened by other educational options. He said that competition only makes Florida's public schools better than they are now.
And we're fortunate in Flagler County to have good schools, good public schools.
Renner said that not every county has good public schools and that there need to be choices in those counties before they have no good schools. Next time, Renner talks about how Florida is helping to handle drug costs. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Flagler Executive Airport is an award winner. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
The winner of the 2018 General Aviation Airport Safety Award is the Flagler Executive Airport. The Federal Aviation Administration's Southern Region Airports Division has recognized the airport specifically for the Runway 1129 relocation and extension project. The FAA Selection Committee felt that this was an accomplishment that clearly and significantly enhanced airport safety. This was the largest single project undertaken since the airport was originally constructed in 1942, said Airport Director Roy Seeger. The special recognition is quite an honor as the FAA Southern Region Airports Division oversees airport development, certification, and safety for all of Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The airport will receive a plaque from the FAA commemorating this award. Hopefully, it'll be in front of a packed house during the 2019 Southern Region Airports Conference in Atlanta next month. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.